Welcome. This is Q&A with Coach MJ, week number 2. Real excited to have you guys with us today, and keep the questions coming. I am flattered and humbled by all the great questions you guys have been submitting. Keep them coming. The answers are going to keep coming. So let's get right into it with the second week of questions. First one, Maureen Uhas asks, how do I know at what effort to ride the bike so I can actually run decent after? Even if I practice bricks, I still usually crash in the run. And that's a great question, Maureen. And the answer depends on what distance you're doing in the event. So as a general rule of thumb, and all the critics can come at me if you want, general rule of thumb, a sprint is about 95% effort on the bike. An Olympic can be 85 to 90% effort, and a half Ironman can be 80 to 85% effort, and an Ironman is generally 65 to 70% effort. Now that changes a little bit. I usually run a little bit higher myself. That's after years and years of training. And one thing that's different is this is percent of effort. This isn't miles per hour. One of the biggest mistakes age group athletes make is to try and hit a certain miles per hour, because the effort it takes to go 20 on a flat street with a tailwind is not the same as 20 miles an hour with a headwind. And when you do that, you trash your legs for the run. So that's generally what you have to do. And if you can train with power, if you can get a power meter, it's an awesome investment. I know they're pricey. The prices are actually coming down. Technology's been great, but that will totally change the way that you ride, and then you should have fresh legs for the run. And if not, you really have to get in tune with your body and yourself and see what you can do at those effort levels and still be able to run efficiently after the run. So great question, Maureen. Next question. Wendy J asks, how do we mentally train for races? Any tips on what to tell yourself while swimming, biking, running? I don't shut up in my own head. I'm just wondering what you tell yourself. And Wendy, I do an actual whole seminar, a whole presentation on mental toughness. I usually do it before the Chicago Marathon, and there are way too many things for me to address all of them today here in this little Q&A session. However, I will tell you 2 big things. Number 1 is to remember the reason why you're doing this, okay? We all have different reasons. We all have different things that motivate us. Find that one reason. Find that thing that keeps you moving, that keeps you going, that keeps you getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to do all these workouts. But then the second thing, and I think it's just as important, is to focus on the positive. So I do remember, I've done a lot of races where I haven't been 100%, and one of the things I try to tell myself is to focus on what's good. And back in 2011, I had a really, really bad injury in my calves, and I remember going out on that run, and they were seizing up, and I could concentrate on that pain, or I could concentrate on the fact that it wasn't like 110 degrees outside. It was beautiful. My breathing was calm. My heart rate was normal. It was just that pain in my legs, and I kept thinking about all the good stuff. What's going right? I feel pretty good. Temperature's beautiful. Sun's out. My heart rate's normal. Let's get this going. And if you can take your mind off those nagging things, that hard stuff, usually I can get over it. So those are 2 of my tricks, but if you want to see all of them, come to my next presentation on mental toughness, which probably won't be until the fall. So let's see. Next question. Eric Basie asks, how much realistic improvement can a late blooming swimmer really expect to obtain with a coach? Awesome question, because I'm a swim coach. Swimming is my strength. And again, that depends on you. I mean, when you say a late blooming swimmer, I've seen some late blooming swimmers be absolutely awesome, and I've seen some who really, really struggle. So, the learning curve is like this. So if you're already up here, you're gonna kind of plateau at some point. It depends on where you are. However, do I think that you can benefit? Absolutely. I think everybody can. And even as someone who has swam since I was yay big, I always look at myself on video. I always ask for tips from other coaches. No matter how good you are, there's always room for improvement. I mean, look at Michael Phelps. He doesn't swim without a coach. He has a coach. Is the coach as good as he is? No, but it still works. So how much can you gain? It really depends on your level, Eric, and I really don't know where you are at this point, but I do think that every single swimmer can benefit from a coach, and maybe not master session, because a master session is more group training, and though master's coaches meet, we have 20, 30 people sometimes in the pool, you try to get to each one, give them tips, but you can't always do it, so some one-on-one time can be really beneficial. And there's also another thing I do that's an underwater swim analysis where we take some underwater clips of you, make some comments and some diagrams on showing you where you are, where you need to be, and that can be helpful too, and that's actually pretty cheap. So in any case, I think there are great gains to be made by all levels of swimmers. So those are the 3 questions for this week. I can't believe how fast that went by. And keep the questions coming. Hashtag it, hashtag Q&A with Coach MJ. Share the information. Anybody can ask questions. We will be back next week with more answers for you. Train hard.